Sorry? Excellent. Beautiful. All right, well, welcome everyone to our mid-year orientation session for the various programs in disability and community inclusion. I'm going to skip past this O-Week slide here and just begin with acknowledging and paying our respects to the traditional custodians of the land upon which we meet. We'd also like to acknowledge and pay respect to the elders of the land, both past and present. Excellent. Well, welcome everyone. My name is Michelle Vellon and I'm the undergraduate course coordinator for the undergraduate programs here at Flinders. So in disability, so we have, hello, welcome. We've got 4 undergraduate programs which I'll be talking to, and then we've got a second presentation orientation session with our postgraduate disability programs which we run here as well too. So just a little bit about myself. So I'm available to support students in our various, the first 4 years of their undergrad. No, not the first 4 years. We've got undergrad programs that take 4 years if you're studying full time, but as course coordinator, I'm here to provide any support, direction, guidance. If there are any issues or concerns with topics, then I'm very much here to help direct and support you along the way. I'm a what's called a balanced academic here at Flinders, which means not only do I do teaching, so you'll see me in some of the topics in first year and in later years, but I'm also a researcher as well too, and engage with colleagues both here at this university and others in a range of different research projects, mostly currently around supporting people. Well, at the moment we're doing evaluation of various disability programs across the country, but also I currently have supervised postgraduate students and PhD students in a range of areas as well too. So if research is an area of interest, please do come and have a chat with myself or other colleagues in our discipline. We've got a thriving research sector here in disability and community inclusion. But also, just briefly as well too, my background is as a developmental educator. So that's one of the professions that students who complete our 4-year degree will be eligible to register for. So I've been working for most of my career with adults with acquired neurological conditions, such as acquired brain injuries and acquired epilepsy and seizure disorders as well too. Love the area, love working in this space, and absolutely love doing the teaching side as well too, and actually getting to physically see some of our students. However, a big welcome to our online students as well too. We're actually seeing more and more online students than face-to-face internal students these days. But we very much hope that all of our topics and all of our study support are geared towards making sure that whether you're internal or online, your experience is going to be a positive one. So I'll stop talking about myself at this point, and oh, there you go. You can see my contact details. There's my phone number, my email. Please email me anytime, and also a link to my profile if you're interested in learning a little bit more about my research. So I'm going to pass on to our academic lead, Professor Sally Robinson, for a quick welcome. Thank you.
I need to stand up.
With the, yes, that's good. That's okay.
Can I ask you to move away? Hi everybody, it's lovely to be here. I'm Sally Robinson. I'm the academic lead for our program. I've been at Flinders for 3 years now, which has gone very quickly. It's really nice to welcome you into our program. My job is to support our team, to lead our team, and to make sure that the course that you're studying is fit for purpose. To make sure that what you're learning is front of field, it's contemporary, and that when you finish your degree, that you're going to come out as practitioners who are really well equipped to be very effective practitioners, but also to be well led by people who are at the front of their field, and particularly to be well led by people with disability. To be led by people with disability as teachers, as guest lecturers, as people who are talking from their lived experience. We've put a lot of work into refreshing our curriculum. It's a great time to be coming and starting here at Flinders. We've got a whole new undergraduate curriculum that we've put a lot of work into developing. This is actually the perfect time to be starting if you're starting in first year, because the people a year ahead of you have just tested it last year. So you're getting the second year of the new curriculum. So it's all bedded in and it's fresh and it's lovely. And what's come out of our new curriculum, or really blended into our new curriculum, are 4 pillars that you'll see across all of the topics, and they're about human rights, equity, justice, and access. And they're sort of 4 principles that you'll see really matter very deeply in all of our topics. If you do a topic and you don't see them living and breathing in your topic, please come and tell us, because we really want to know. We will adjust and strengthen what we do. Speaking of open door, all of us here have an open door policy. If you find that you really resonate with somebody and you feel really comfortable with them, and you see something in the program that you don't feel comfortable with, you don't have to just go to the topic coordinator of your project. Go to anybody to talk to them. We really want to know how you feel about the program. We want to know what you're enjoying. We want to know what you're not enjoying, because we really want to make sure that everybody is having a good learning experience. That particularly goes for me. I teach in the undergraduate program in first year, and I teach in the postgraduate program, but I only get to teach 2 topics because I do a lot of research as well. So if I don't get to see you all the time, please don't feel that you can't come and knock on the door and talk about anything that you want to talk about with the program. I would really encourage you to make the most of the community opportunity that is around you. Although a lot of our students are not going to be here face to face, a lot of our students might not come here until they graduate, in fact. There are lots of online opportunities that are available. Cass will talk to you later about the engagement opportunities that you've got. It's a bit daunting when you're first coming in to take the first step, to meet new people, to do those things that push you out of your comfort zone. But one of the things that the profession that you're coming into, or the profession that you're already involved in, relies on is the ability to make connections. The people who we're working with rely on practitioners who can make connections, who can facilitate, who can build supports. And you're the best person to practice on yourself. So building those connections now as you come into your degree is not only going to build your professional and your own identity strengths, but it's also going to make you into somebody who's better at your job as you go through. So think of it as an investment in your professional self, as an investment in your personal self. So I just really wanted to hop in and say welcome. I hope you really enjoy your degree. I hope you find it challenging and stimulating. And I'm looking forward to meeting you as you go through the degree. Thanks.
Excellent. Thank you so very much, Sally. Wonderful. Now, the next person I'd like to introduce you to is Jamie Gardner. And Jamie if she comes a little bit closer to the camera for those of us watching online. Excellent. And hello to the people in the room. So Jamie, as you can see, is our postgraduate course coordinator, but she's also teaching across undergraduate as well as postgrad topics as well too. So you'll see Jamie in first year, in both semesters in first year.
Yes.
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 And again all the way through. So. Excellent. Is there anything that you'd like to say, Jamie, in terms of your background?
Sure. I can use this mic, can't I?
You can.
Yeah. So welcome to those of you who are in the room, and welcome to those of you who are online. There's a lot of welcome to in-class and online students throughout the topics. As Michelle said, I teach in first year, both first semester and second semester, so I will see you in your first year of study. I'm also the postgraduate course coordinator as well. So if you stay with us beyond your undergraduate study and move on to postgrad study, you'll continue to see me. I imagine I'll still be here in that time. My background is I'm both a developmental educator and a social worker. My practice background has predominantly been working with adults with brain injury and their families in community rehab, and I've also done some work in domestic and family violence as well. So welcome. I hope you really enjoy your time here with us. As Sally and Michelle have mentioned, we really encourage you to make contact with us if you have any difficulties or doing great things across your time with us. We love to hear about them. And we love to get to know what's happening with students while you're here and then beyond when you're out in the sector working as well. So welcome.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Jamie. And then the other person we have in the room here is Dr. Cassandra Gibson-Pope. So Cass, excellent, thank you. Yeah, you can come up. Beautiful.
Hi everyone, so yes, I'm your Student Engagement Coordinator, so that means that as well as lecturing in the topics, I also am the Student Engagement Coordinator. So if there's anything that happens throughout your studies that you need extra support with, perhaps navigating your way around university, having more information about student learning resources, Oasis and the health and disability and counselling services, I'm the person you can come and talk to, and I can refer you on to somebody else. Or if you just need a chat because something's perhaps not going too well at the moment in your life, then come and see me and I can give you some extra support. So I'm also lecturing in the undergraduate degree program. I look after in this next semester the disability service landscape, a first year topic, so I'll see you in that one too, and across some other topics in third year and postgraduate as well. So that's me, thank you.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Cass. Good. All right, well, let's keep moving on. So for those of you who are going to be joining us as internal students, we're located here on Sturt campus. At the moment, we're on level 2 of the South Wing, and we have like a main kind of, it's an unstaffed reception area just behind us here in S250. So that means that there's no one manning that area, but there is a phone. And so if you have an appointment to come and see one of your topic coordinators, if you come to this room and then you pick up the phone and you'll see there's a number for us there. If you dial that number, then we know that you're there and we'll come bring you in. So that's where you come and have sort of face-to-face meetings with staff members. And if you get a chance to have a walk around Sturt campus as well, you'll notice that it is in a square configuration. So there's a north wing, a south wing, an east wing, and a west wing. And all of those rooms start with N for north, S for south, E for east, or W for west. So it's really quite straightforward if you just kind of think about it as a compass. And then rooms on level 1 start with a 1, rooms on level 2 with a 2, etc. So once you kind of get a you've got that figured out, it's not too hard. We've got a library here at Sturt campus. We've got great coffee, good food. What else do we have here actually that's actually on Sturt campus? All of our internal tutorials, so as first year students, all of your internal tutes will be here on campus with our DSRS topics. When it comes to, and I'll talk about study plans in a moment, but when it comes to doing an option topic, so you've got many of you will have a one option topic, and they may be from elsewhere across the university. So that's a great opportunity to learn how to get somewhere new and do a topic that's outside of our disability sector and engage and network with other students as well. So a great link here. This one here is to the campus map. We've got a couple of students in the room here as well too. Siri's trying to butt in. But there's a really good app called Lost on Campus. Is that still live, Cass? It's a good question. it will check, excellent, where there used to be. There might still be a really great app called Lost on Campus, and it will tells you where you are and where you need to go to get to the room you need to get to. Otherwise, we've got the campus map there, which is well worth figuring out. From here, from Sturt to go up to the main campus, it's about a 10-minute brisk walk, and it's beautiful. So have either of you had a chance to walk between main campus and here? You have? Yeah. Excellent. How long did it take roughly? You got a bit lost. Went for a bit of a meander. Yeah. No. About 10, 15 minutes roughly. Yeah. So it is gorgeous, and you go over the bridge and it's through a pine forest, and there are beautiful places to walk around between our various campuses. So we've got here at Sturt, we've got the main campus up the hill, what we refer to as up the hill. It's not, well, it kind of is, it's a little bit more elevated. And then we've got the medical FMC, Flinders Medical Centre as well too. So they've got some good food. There's another library down there. But there's probably not too many opportunities really in this course to spend time at FMC. But walking is great. Brilliant. So, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, in our undergraduate programs, we've undergone a really big curriculum renewal, and this is our second year of rolling out our new curriculum. So we now have 4 programs, and they are what's the best word? They're kind of like a step. So if you only, so the diploma is the first year of the program, and students can exit at the end of the first year and get a diploma in disability, community and practice. Or if students do the first 2 years, then you can exit with an associate degree. If you finish the first 3 years, then you'll exit with a Bachelor of Disability and Community Inclusion. So that's a 3-year bachelor, which means that you may be eligible for a range of postgraduate courses, if that's what interests you, or postgrad medicine, or postgrad speech pathology, or postgrad, a whole range, or graduate certificates even. So that's a useful jump-off point for a lot of people. Or if you complete the full 4-year degree, that's the accredited program for our graduates who will become developmental educators. So that's an allied health qualification and profession that I'll talk a little bit more in more detail. So that's attractive for some people, but for many others, just doing a 1, a 2 or a 3-year degree is going to meet their personal and career goals. So I think the thing to be mindful of and how we've designed these 4 years is it's a jump-on, jump-off model as well. So if you decide that you finish the first year, you exit with a diploma, you can come back again, you can apply via SATEC to come back again and continue your study with these. So I'll have a look at your study plan, see which topics, make sure that you've completed the topics that you need to, make sure there's nothing that we've missed, and then you can continue on with the study plan as we go. So that, for a lot of people, particularly in the disability sector, or actually across most sectors these days, there's going to be sometimes sort of interruptions to your study. Sometimes stepping up more hours at work is going to be important, so you may need to kind of reduce your fraction at uni or vice versa. So we've got a lot of flexibility built into these undergrad degrees to help you progress and meet your goals. So information where you find out information about which topics are involved in each of these, we find via something called the handbook. And if I go like this, and if I jump onto, so this is, can we still see this? Is it sharing my computer screen rather than okay, so this is our Flinders Uni web page. And the easiest way for me to find this stuff, so as you can see at the top here, we've got a few different tabs. So we've got one here for students, and then here we've got one here called My Course. So if you go into My Course, you'll see here something called Course Rules and Topics. So if we jump into Course Rules and Topics, that gives us a link to our Flinders Uni handbook. So I'm going to click on that. And then I'm going to type in disability, Whoops, that's going to give me a whole lot of stuff. Sorry, if I go to courses, you can see all the different courses. So let's say that we've got at least one student in the BDDE in the room. Which degree are you studying as well? The 4-year BDDE as well. So if I click on the 4-year BDDE degree, we can see here we've got all the information, the aims and the learning outcomes of the degree, etc., etc. But we also have, if I keep going down the program of study, so if I click on year 1, you'll see that, let's expand all of them. You can see all the topics that are in this degree. You'll see in the first half of the year or first semester, we've got these 3 core topics and an option topic. And then in the second half, we've got these 4 core topics. So you can go through and see those. Excellent. If I keep scrolling down, you'll also see that there are course exit award associations, and this is where you can click on any of the other programs as well. So another thing to be mindful of, if once you've finished either the 3-year degree or the 4-year degree, and if you're interested in research, then there's a great option to pick up a 1-year honours in health science. And that's attractive for students who are either want to enhance their understanding about research. That's really valuable in, for example, in evaluation kind of capacity if you're working in the sector. Or if you'd like to progress into a PhD. So that was a pathway that I did as a research academic here at Flinders. So I did my undergrad in disability. I did a 1-year honours degree. Cass did as well too. And then we went on and did a PhD programs to enhance our research, disability research. So that's a great option. So that's a whole range of information that we can access via the handbook. So you'll also see, if we just jump into one of those topics, let's pick Cass's topic. So Cass teaches disability service landscape. So if I click on this one, this takes you to that individual topic. You can see an overview, you can see the aims and the learning outcomes. Now, an important thing when you look at this page is to select the availability over here in the right-hand corner. And you'll see that this topic is available online in semester 2 or in person here in Bedford. So if I'm looking to do this topic in person at Bedford Park, I click on that one, and then down below it'll tell me information about the tuition pattern. No, that tells you where we go, but in terms of the timetable, dates, fees. Right where you are. Yeah. So if I click there, it'll tell me where and when I need to be. Okay. So I can see here that there are face-to-face tutorials on a Thursday from 9 till 10:30. Or from 10:30 to 12. So there's two internal tutorials, one of which I select to attend. So for many of our first year topics, there'll be online lecture recordings, and then either a face-to-face tutorial or an online tutorial that you join to discuss and unpack and explore and make sure that you feel comfortable that you understand the content. So with our new curriculum renewal, we've moved away from the large en masse sit-down lecture kind of style. So with each of your topics, has everyone had a chance to jump onto Flow yet? Flinders Learning Online, and that's where all of your study is. So with each topic, so with Cass's, for instance, each week you'll watch the pre-recorded lecture and then come to either the face-to-face or online tutorial to do it, and then there'll be a series of online kind of activities to do as well. So it's really designed to meet the needs of online students and provide opportunities for face-to-face learning for internal students as well. Cool. Great. So I'll move, if I move back here, so I'm back in the handbook at the moment. And if I just jump up, there's another really useful thing I wanted to show. And that is, hang on, where am I? The BDDE, yes. And this is the study planner. So the study planner, if again we just type in disability, and if we're going to have a look at the study planner for the Bachelor of Disability and Developmental Education, I would select this one. And then here we can see all the topics, year by year, semester by semester, all available. Has anyone in the room had a chance to check out this study planner yet? You have? Yep. So this is new. This is great information then. So the first page is useful if you're starting the degree at the start of the year. But let's move down to the second page because everyone today are mid-year entry students. So your study plan is going to look a little bit different, although it doesn't reflect that here. That's okay, I will walk you through that in a moment. But you can see, we've got 4 topics each semester. And again, if there's any questions or concerns about the study plan, please do come have a chat with me. I will talk about that in a moment. If I just jump back here. Great. All right, so this is just another view of that, that study plan. As mid-year entry students, in order to kind of, because there are some topics that are prerequisites for other topics, it will take, so for the 4-year degree, it will take 4.5 years to complete the 4 years. And what we do is we develop a plan for you so that you're still able to complete what's called full-time, but three topics a semester in a second semester, and 4 topics a semester in first semester. And I can show you, I've got a couple of physical handouts, but I can also email it to our students online joining us as well too, which explains the projected sort of rate of progress. And this might be relevant for students who need to maintain full-time status with the government to continue to receive payments to be a full-time student. So the government considers a full-time student if you are enrolled in 13.5 units, at least 13.5 units each semester. But here at Flinders, just keep in mind, full-time actually means 18 units or 4 topics a semester. So that can be a little bit confusing, but if I'll sit down with you and show you the best way to kind of plan out your study in semester 2 each year to make sure that you're able to keep those payments if that's relevant. We also have a whole range of students who do this degree who are working and aren't receiving government support, so that's not really part of their, it's not a big concern for them. Okay, all right, so with this one here, as you can see in first year, we've got a lot of really interesting topics, theoretically oriented topics that introduce you to a range of contemporary disability studies, concepts, terminology, theories, and introduce you to working as a professional in the disability service landscape. As well as introducing you to some background research and study skills about learning about evidence-based practice, about learning how to find good quality research evidence, and learn how to use the library and find great journal articles, etc. So it can be it's quite a good introductory topic. In second year, you'll see our first placement topic. So this is a 100-hour placement in the disability sector. So this one here, you're allocated to an organisation to do your 100-hour placement. And students typically do that 1 day a week over the course of the semester at the same time that they're doing their other topics. So a thing to be mindful of is if you've been working in the disability sector previously, then you may be eligible for credit for this first prac placement. So if you feel that this might be you, please do email me directly or email the credit application, our student support team here at Flinders, and we'll assess. What we generally ask is we need a letter of confirmation from your employer or employers stating what your role is, who you've been working for and what you've been doing and how long you've been doing that for, and then we assess that for credit against that first one. So also in second year, we also look at, we're building your research and study skills, so you're introduced to a range of qualitative and quantitative research methodology and translation of research to practice, a lot of ethics about research, but we also introduce you to some contemporary approaches to supporting people with disability to access a range of different employment options. Including customised employment and some of the evidence supporting in that space. We've got, what else do we have? Instructional strategy. So there's a strong focus on helping you become effective educators. So helping people breaking down tasks to make sure that people can learn effectively. We've got professional ethics, advocacy and working with partnership, and a great new topic on health and wellbeing and promoting access to mainstream health services for people with a disability, which is a big issue in Australia. So by the time you get to third year, we've got our second placement, and this is a 150-hour placement. And this one here, you can select where you're going to go. Yes, so I think the thing to be, and I'll talk about placement in a moment, actually, that's okay. But we've got some great topics on introducing you to positive behaviour support, counselling skills, a really interesting topic on entrepreneurship and small business. In the current Australian environment, under the NDIS, disability is certainly being shifted into business models. So making sure that you have an understanding of basic sort of business language concepts and effectively, able to sort of identify opportunities, to either set up your own small business or invest in entrepreneurship qualities. Business is a part of, intricate part of disability these days. We've got a great focus on AAC, augmented and alternative communication, on building community capacity, which is again one of Cass's topics, on case management and support coordination. So again, there's a range of roles for people in our degrees to work across case management, many in health-related settings, or support coordination, particularly in relation to the NDIS. And then in fourth year, for those of you who continue and do this fourth year, these topics are very specific to ensuring that you meet the competencies to be eligible to register as a developmental educator. And there we've got a strong focus on positive behaviour support because once you finish this 4-year degree, you'll be eligible to register as a behaviour support practitioner. We've got a focus on delivering therapeutic supports, again, understanding clinical assessments, report writing and advanced instructional strategies. We've got a great topic on early childhood intervention. There's another placement, this is a DE placement of 150 hours. Some further PBS topics with another PBS placement of 100 hours in second semester, and then wrapping it all up with a final 9-unit capstone where in making sure that you feel confident in stepping into your new graduate entry role as a developmental educator at the end. So like I've mentioned, we've got a few placements throughout, and students by far say that's the most valuable experience at university, is the opportunity to put what you've learned in practice, see how things work in the real world, and kind of reflect on the skills that you need to develop. So with our placements, they're not block placements. They are designed for you to do them 1 day or 2 days a week while you're studying other topics. Yeah, so is there anything else we need to... Oh, that's right, here. In terms of preparing for placements, what we need you to do is by the end of first year, you need to start doing your compliance requirements. So there are a range of things that you need to have in place before you can be allocated a placement the following year. So these things include having your first aid certificate, police clearance checks, working with children checks. So some of these things will have some cost to yourself, so make sure that you plan for those. There's a link down here as well too to one of our web pages, which includes all of the compliance requirements. So it's not a critical issue for you right now, starting your first year, but at the end of your first year, come back and start moving through the list and making sure you've got everything in place so that you can be assigned a placement at the start of semester 1, for instance. Cool. Great. So a really common question that we get is, what kind of jobs will these various courses prepare me for? Now, the first students who study the first 3 years, either the diploma, the associate degree, or the 3-year bachelor, are really well prepared for a range of roles across disability and community services. These roles might include advocacy roles, working as NDIS planners or support coordinators, case managers, team leaders, program coordinators, or stepping into management, policy and leadership positions. So these are just an example of a range of different roles. We also have graduates who've stepped into work in corrections, for the local council. That's where you were working for 15, 20, 22 years, working for a local council. So with a strong focus on access and inclusion. Again, really great range of career pathways with any of these first 3 years. And we recommend that students join the National Disability Practitioners Association to help with that collegial support. And that relates to those first 3 years. So for students who complete the 4-year degree, then that will enable them to practice as developmental educators, PBS practitioners, also specialist support coordinators. So specialist support coordinators require a 4-year bachelor degree in a range of allied health areas. So often specialist support coordinators will be DEs or occupational therapists or social workers or speech pathologists. So that's another pathway that you may look into. And our professional association is Developmental Educators Australia Inc., or DEAI. So if you click on this particular link, and I'll open this one now, this is a great... I'm going to have to get out of there. This is a great website to check out if you are enrolled or interested in the 4-year degree, to learn a little bit more about what the DEAI does and who DEs are and the membership requirements. So I'll leave that one there. So just Briefly, a common question is who are developmental educators? So developmental educators are disability specialists and allied health professionals here in Australia. It's a profession that originated here in South Australia, and it has grown since the inception of our disability degrees here at Flinders University in the 80s. DEs became recognised as allied health professionals about, I'm going to say about 10, 15 years ago now with the South Australian Government. And we now have graduates and DEs working across Australia. So DEs work very strongly with a human rights framework, and so you'll see that through all of our topics in our degree. And with a focus on, working alongside people with a disability, making sure, so everything has a strong focus on co-design and co-development and supporting people to achieve their goals. And DEs work with people across the lifespan, so not just with children. We do have a topic that specifically focuses on early childhood intervention, but DEs will also work with school-age children, with the transition from school to adult life. DEs work with adults across the lifespan and through into ageing in aged care settings, etc. So, the full spectrum. So, full membership with the DAI is required to practice as a developmental educator in Australia. So you must be registered, and then there's a whole, like with all other professional associations and professions, you need to maintain continuing professional development points, etc., adhere to the code of ethics to maintain your registration to continue to practice. So very quickly, DEs provide a range of therapeutic supports. Many do so independently, like to support people who aren't registered with the NDIS, but also can work within the NDIS as well too. Many DEs will engage developing with a range of assessments, functional, developmental and behavioural assessments. There's a strong focus on teaching functional life skills, whether that be developing skills as I'm transitioning from high school to university, or high school into work, or high school into independent living, any type of transition there. Learning new skills such as how to use public transport, or independent living skills at home, or parenting skills, relationship skills, sexuality, a whole range. So we've got DEs who specialise in a very diverse range of areas. Many DEs also work as behaviour support specialists, and we've mentioned specialist support coordination. And very much the focus is on supported decision making, physical, emotional health and well-being, and supporting the rights of people with disability. So I'm not going to go through all of these, but there's a series of slides up here that do explain the DE role a little bit further. And you'll see a lot of this information up on the DAI website as well too. This slide just acknowledges that DEs work with people with a whole range of different types of disability and neurodiversity. It's not just a particular group, it's very inclusive. And these are just some examples here of the different range of therapeutic supports DEs may work across. And I'll just slip through past these. So we have a lot of DEs out in practice. This is very much a growing profession. So we've got DEs in large organisations in South Australia, such as Novita, which is growing exponentially at the moment. I think they've got about 15 or so DEs and growing the team quite quickly. So DEs in many of these organisations work very closely in either a multidisciplinary, an interdisciplinary or transdisciplinary approach with other professionals, including speech pathologists, occupational therapists, psychologists, physios, GPs, social workers, teachers, psychologists, neuropsychologists, psychiatrists and a whole range. So DEs, thank you, work very closely with others, and we teach and learn from each other. But you can see here, these are just some of the places where our graduates are working across a whole range of services and settings. So if you're new to the concept of this, today is the first time you've heard about DEs and what they might do, please do jump on the DAI website. We also have our membership as a first year student is free for your first year. So a student membership of the DEAI, we strongly encourage you sign up and be part of the DE community. And there's also a DEAI Facebook group as well too, which you can apply to join and learn more about what DEs are doing, the issues that they're grappling with, etc. So become part of the professional community that you will join when you graduate. So I'm going to stop now, and if there are some questions either about the courses or about placements or just about study or Flinders generally, this is a great time to ask.
Either of you have a question? No? So far I have none from the room, the online room. So
No
I've
worries.
just set up a poll though. So I have asked you how you're all feeling. So see how you go. Yeah. Or if you'd like to tell me, you can too. But, I have asked a poll, so see if you can see it. I hope I worked. I did set some questions as well, but I haven't had any responses.
No, all good, all good. I think, I guess one of my top tips for brand new students... Oh, do you have a question?
No, 100% excited so far.
Oh, that's good. I'm so glad. I think the thing to be mindful of is that you're going to be you're going to be studying with a whole range of students with incredible diversity of experiences as well too. So we've got a fantastic. We've got a cohort of students who are jumping straight from high school or who have done oh goodness, I've forgotten the name of the course here at Flinders. The preparation course. Foundation course, that's right. We've got students who have been out working in the sector and then are looking to take the next step in their career, or we've got people in amongst all of that group as well too. We've got a fantastic cohort of students with lived experience of disability as well too, who are looking to take on those leadership professional roles and really lead the sector. We've got people who are just interested in learning for learning's sake. So a whole variety of motivations. We've got, mature age students, brand new to uni students, the whole shebang. So it's a great opportunity to kind of learn from each other as you go too. I think the other bit of advice I would have is to connect with each other too. So particularly if you're an online student, you can feel really disconnected from everyone else. So join a tutorial group or use the chat function or the discussion groups. Share a little bit about yourself, connect out and say, hi, oh my gosh, that's really interesting. Can you tell me more about that? Get those discussions started amongst yourselves. And then from there, you can bounce off and suggest other, study groups, online study groups, face-to-face study groups, all sorts of things. But you can also join any range of our clubs and societies here at Flinders to meet other students across the uni. And that's so important as well too. I've been here at Flinders since the mid-90s, and I've always intended to go and join the Ultimate Frisbee Club. I reckon, give me another year and I reckon I'll get up to it. But there are so many. But yeah, reach out and, make that community as well. Cool. You got a question? No, that hand, it just looks like it's going
So
on.
you two are excited? Good.
Beautiful.
Welcome aboard.
But I think another tip is, so again, to not let things, really attack this like you would a job. Have a really organised, study planner. Use your diary really proactively. So pop everything in week by week, day by day. What is it that you're going to do to make sure that you keep up with the workload? I think what shocks a lot of first year students is the volume of work with each of the topics. So keep in mind that for a full-time study load, if you're enrolled in 4 topics in a semester, that's the equivalent of a full-time work week. So if you are working, think about that, have a chat to Cass or myself as course coordinator and think, actually, well, how many hours am I working? What's a reasonable amount for me to be studying? For many students, it might just be 2 or 3 topics a semester if they need to be working, part-time as well too. But please don't fall in the trap of doing full-time work and full-time study, because something is going to break and we need you. We need you to stay well so you can continue and get out there and make a difference in the community. We really want to see you graduate. So be really proactively involved with your diary. Keep up to date with things as you go, and if you find that you're struggling or something, you're feeling out of your depth or something is slipping a little bit, reach out straight away to your tutor or to your topic coordinator or to Cass as student experience coordinator. And if you get in early, we can help you. Even if things have gone a long way down the track and you think, oh, it's too late, still make contact with us anyway, because we can always explore and figure out what we can put in place to help you. But don't do this on your own. That's our big suggestion. Cool.
I don't have any questions, Michelle. For you online.
No, that's good. Well, you've got our contact details. Also, we're aware that there may be some students who haven't had a chance to watch the orientation material. So if you do find other students in your topics who look like they're studying, please encourage them to make contact with us as well too, and just create a little community of support amongst yourself. I think one thing we didn't mention is we also have student reps as well. So there'll be a call out soon if students are interested to put their hand up and be a student rep. We hold 2 meetings a semester, and that gives you a chance to meet other students in the degree and also feedback and communicate ideas, suggestions, help problem solve. And help make our degrees and our program successful ones. And so we've got a strong student voice. Cool. Great. Lovely. Well, welcome to the degree. We look forward to seeing you guys in our topics this semester. All the very best. Cool.